You are back on the Mountain Morning Show. It is the first Monday of the month, which means our friend Bill Humbert is in studio. Among other things, he's a professional speaker, recruiter, consultant, and also, recruitment consultant and award-winning author. Happy New Year and welcome back to the show. How have you been?
I've been well, Chelsea. Thank you.
Wonderful.
And Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. It's a great start to one. And speaking of the new year, as an owner of a company or if you're looking to get a new job, you, of course, are the one to speak to about what you need to pay attention to this new year. And of course, like with the start of any new year, new budgets, new ideas moving forward, and how to improve upon your company. And this morning, we're going to be talking about 3 ways to improve a company's candidate experience. And Bill, first off, when I read through what we were going to talk about, I thought, I don't think many people even really think about this, do they?
No, and you can just look at companies and see when you're looking at the company what the candidate experience might be. Mm-hmm. And many times their websites are very, they demonstrate what the candidate experience is going to be. So the problem is many companies don't understand that recruiting is a sales process. They look at it as maybe a human resource process. Mm. And so there are 3 major ways to improve the candidate experience because it's a sales process, so you're trying to attract candidates.
Very good. And the first one, let's go right into it. Improving job descriptions and adding first year goals. Why is this so important?
Well, you know, so many companies feel pain, managers feel pain when they, at the end of that first year, and they have to do the annual review. Mm-hmm. It's, oh my gosh, what? And if you have the goals laid out right from the beginning, right in the job description for that year, then what happens? Now the expectations are set right from the beginning. Those are how you measure the candidate right from the beginning. When you select the candidate, that's what you're using. Can these people make these goals this year? And then during the year, now you have things to talk about during your one-on-ones with the person, the new employee. At the end of the year, they made their goals or they didn't. Mm. And so the annual review should be much easier. I
would think that oftentimes there's the issue of when you start a job, oftentimes what is expected of you isn't always there, and along the way things are added or even taken away, and then you're like, wow, I wish that had been in the job description. It can become a really big issue.
Exactly, you know, because their expectations coming into the job are based on what was said during the interview, and for
both parties.
For both parties.
Not just, you know, me getting that job or you hiring me. I mean, it goes both ways.
Exactly. So if these are laid out from the beginning, now there's expectations are set and they're managed.
Very good. Okay, so like we said, improve job descriptions, add first year goals. Second up, make recruiting a corporate priority. What does that mean?
Well, when you look at corporate websites for careers, where do you find it many times?
Way at the bottom in teeny writing, like half the size of the text of the rest of the page.
Oh, less than half. It's like 4-point
right?
font.
It's like the contract agreement where it's like all the teeny little
fine
writing.
Print.
Right. The fine
yeah,
print
exactly.
Is where you'll find a job.
Exactly. And so what's my perception when I'm looking at that? I look at the home page and I'm going, where's the jobs, where's the jobs, where's the jobs? And all the way down here is careers. Mm-hmm. And what's my perception about the level of priority recruiting is?
Not very high.
Very low.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. Not very high, very low. Exactly. And so it's really important for companies that if they're feeling pain in recruiting, mm-hmm. to make it a priority and therefore put it higher on the website. And there's a lot of different things you can do. And you could even keep it down in a smaller font, but just change the color of careers.
Right.
Or you could make it so that it fades in and out so it grabs attention.
Well, it's such an easy change. It really is. I mean, just tell your web developer, hey, make that font bigger, stick it up top with our tabs. I mean,
exactly.
How hard is that, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, up next, we want to talk about the last and third one, making it easy for professionals to submit resumes. So along with number 2, easily being able to find where you can look at the career or career section. This one, how does that add to that?
Well, this is very important. There's 2 categories of employees. There's the exempt and non-exempt. The non-exempt are the hourly employees, and the non-exempt are used to filling out applications. Mm-hmm. The exempt, really not so much. They're used to submitting resumes, okay? And so what happens? In many cases, if you go online, and I like to use Verizon as my favorite company to pick on because theirs is so hard to get to, but you have to go 3 steps before you find a job, and then you click on the job, and then you got to fill out this 9-page application, and then you can submit a resume. Well, if I'm happily employed somewhere, I'm now called a passive candidate. Am I going to fill out a 9-page application knowing that I'll never hear from Verizon? Probably not. So I'm going to draw an analogy. Let's say you drive a $40,000 automobile, and you're thinking in the back of your head, you know, sometime next year I think maybe I'll replace this with another $40,000 or $45,000 automobile. If you had to fill out a 9-page application before you test drove the automobile, would you go into the dealership?
No.
Exactly.
I might look at it, but I'm not going to take the time.
You're going to go to the dealership that says, "Hey, Chelsea, welcome. Come on in and test drive this car. You know, we'd love to have you come in and be a customer." So what happens? Candidates go and they have to fill out this 9-page application before they submit the resume, before they talk to anybody. So really what has to happen is the applications are important. Push them back until after somebody from the company has spoken with them. So now there's mutual interest. And then just say, okay, well, before you come in for your interview, let's do this. I'll forward a copy of our application. Just fill it out online and send it in. And then when you come in, that'll all be done.
All right.
And so that really, just those 3 things really improves the candidate experience and therefore improves the caliber of candidate companies we'll get.
All right, very good. Let's remind you of the 3 again. Improve job descriptions, add first-year goals. Our second was make recruiting a corporate priority, and you talk of that. And I like how you say not order taking.
Right.
So make it a priority. And then the last one, make it easy for professionals to submit resumes. Anything else to add this morning?
Oh, I think we're good to go.
I think we are. Good way to start off the new year. Thank you so much for your time. And as a reminder, you can find more about Bill on www.recruiterguy.com, or I'm sure he'd be happy to answer any of your questions and take your calls. And you can find all this information there, right?
Absolutely.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for your time, Bill. We look forward to next month. And by then, we'll be over with Sundance and starting the Olympics. Can you believe it? A month from now?
It's amazing, isn't it?
We're looking forward
exciting.
to it.
Yep.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. And we'll be right back after this quick commercial break. We'll be joined by Lara Dupuy, Executive Director of the Utah Council for Citizen Diplomacy. They have their lecture series starting up again this next week.